Alrighty, so who are you and what is your story?
My name is Rachel Elspeth Gross. I'm a fashion historian and writer, and I do so many different things. My job, my work takes me in many different directions. I host a podcast. I helped to co-found a kids ed tech company focused on providing educational materials for children who are interested in fashion as a career choice, and generally trying to make the fashion industry a kinder, more inclusive space.
So with that being said, how would you say that you're doing that right now?
It's a lot of different ways. We host a podcast called The Little Red Village, where we get industry leaders from various facets of the fashion industry to talk to us about their journeys, how they got to where they are. And from talking to something like 30 people over the past 3 years, I know that there is no such thing as a direct A to B. Every career journey is a very interesting, twisty thing, and it's really about following what you believe, what you know to be true, what moves you, what you emotionally respond to, and what feels right. I don't know, it's very interesting. You hear stories about success, in the news and in the media, but the work part gets glossed over, the grind, the behind the scenes, and personally, I think that the work is the most interesting part. It's the most fun part. I care far less about the celebrity and much more about, what makes a person want to do the work that they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is having people that want to do the work is the most important part. I think that's what brings passion out of people. You seem very passionate about what you do.
I love what I do. I feel very lucky.
So with that being said, was there like a moment or anything, or maybe an experience for you that made you want to do that, made you want to make the fashion industry more inclusive?
I went through design school in Chicago. I worked in the fashion industry for about 3 years. I merchandised at Barney's New York, the Chicago branch. I dressed fashion shows. I was an illustrator for a shoe design company. I was doing really well, but I hated it. It's not a very pleasant industry to work in all of the time. So I quit. This is like 2008, right around the time the bubble burst. And I came back to Tallahassee. I decided to do the thing that was the most opposite in my mind, which was welding. I went to welding school. But it was a joke on me because welding and sewing are like literally exactly the same thing. It's just a difference in materials. Then slowly I realized that I was still making clothing. I was still writing about the history of clothing. I was still doing research. And I decided that it was important enough to me to do it on my own terms, to figure out how to make it mine. And I think one thing that a lot of people suffer from is well-intentioned bad advice. People who maybe have an idea about what the right thing to do is. And it can be very difficult as a young person to know what to listen to, what voices. And I really believe that when you feel something truly, when you know it, even if people are telling you otherwise, doing what you believe is the right thing to do is the most direct route to success.
Yeah, absolutely. And that what you just said directly, your story, or that story in particular, directly correlates with my best friend, my roommate, actually. He was one of the, he loves music. He's a musician. He loves music, loves creating it, loves listening to it, everything about it. And when we were in high school together, we both did band. That's where we met. And coming into college, he was like, music, I don't know, our high school band experience was very good, but also had its moments. And because of that, he was like, I don't think music is for me. I'll go into business. And quickly realized, probably 6 to 8 months into his business degree, was like, what am I doing? Like, I miss music. And he dove right back into it. He, set himself back a little bit from a educational standpoint, but now he's doing what he truly loves to do. And he found that passion again for it. And I think that's extremely important. For people that may be trying to follow what they believe in and it's not fruitful, It's not rewarding in the way that they want it to be. It's not fun like they want it to be. What advice would you give to those people that feel like they're doing what they should be doing, but it's not rewarding in the way they want it to be?
I have a 6-year-old daughter, and one of the things that I'm really working on teaching her is delayed gratification. And through my work with Little Red Fashion, I've really heard over and over and over again from many people who are experts in whatever field that breaking something down into small steps, finding small parts of a project that can feel like you've completed something, and then building on that over time. Nothing ever happens overnight. The idea that one day you're just magically on a red carpet, or you just get picked up by a scout at a baseball game or something, that doesn't really happen. Work matters. Doing good work well. I swear it makes any human a better person. And finding something that you can build upon, like actual skills, tangible skills. The more you learn, the more you practice, the more you interact with people who have similar interests, the more you put yourself in maybe uncomfortable situations so that you can meet others, so you can hear other people's experiences. It's much easier to build something when you have a team, and that doesn't have to be like an official brand. It could just be people who you enjoy working with, or people whose work you respect. Some of my best friends are people we can hang out and like work on our own stuff, in the same space, and there's kind of an energy there. But I think patience is really maybe the hardest part. We have this, social media fantasy that things just happen instantaneously, and I don't think anything really solidly good happens that quickly.
No, yeah, I 100% agree. The journey is what makes the end goal that much more rewarding. If you just got to skip to the ending, you wouldn't feel as good about being there. You wouldn't feel as good about earning that, whatever you earned, it wouldn't feel as good. So, and I think that's a very, very good piece of advice. So thank you so much.